Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So myself I am Bora and I'm a public speaker. So today I am giving this particular presentation so that one can get an idea how to deliver an impressive seminar or a webinar. So many a times when people or great personalities are called for a seminar or webinar, they need to prepare a presentation or they need certain skills within them so that they can deliver the seminar very impressively. So first, there is a four important parameters that you can see on the screen. Firstly, polishing your words. So you need to be very kind with your words. You need to be very careful. What are you using? Because you need to know the level of audience you're targeting and the knowledge of the audience. Like if it's a seminar related to science or commerce, so the field will decide the words, the type of words. It shouldn't be too much like using jargons or etc. Some things. It should be a language that is easily communicable and understood by the audience. Next, you need to know how to capture the audience attention. In a seminar or webinar, some people tend to get bored. But if you see, there are certain motivational seminars, there are certain webinars where मतलब बोलते हैं ना नजर भी नहीं हटती. You do not even like feel like blinking your eyes. It is so captivating. So you need to know how to captivate your audience. Next, you need to explain if there are any figures, flowcharts, diagrams in your presentation. So those are the pictorial representations that play a very vital role in your seminar. Next, you should know how to summarize your presentation. So at the end, there is a lot of attention of audience because finally the seminar has come to an end. So that is the time when audience will be more diligent and more, attentive towards your particular seminar. So you need to summarize your content pretty well. So firstly, if we go to see what are the different parameters and presentation skills that you must have within you, you need to have an appropriate structure. Like when you're beginning, appropriate introduction, then middle main content, and finally the conclusion. So these are the three different parts of your seminar. You need to practice, you need to rehearse once, because anything without practice might land you up in a problem. So you need to practice it at least once. The third is the body language, the public speaking skills, the eye contact, the gestures, the postures, the way in which you're standing, your hand movements, everything that counts. Notes and handouts. So you need to have certain notes and handouts ready so that before the seminar you just quickly go through them for a flash revision for yourself so that you don't miss upon those points. Because whenever we are presenting, we don't read out the content on the slide. We just provide some information which has an association to that particular slide. Speech. Your speech should be very clear. You should be very confident. Your content should be quite concise. It should neither be too quick, neither too slow. So it should be at an optimum speed and use everyday language rather than jargon language. As I mentioned, it's better that you use certain language. I assume, to be honest, what do you think? These are kind of few wordings that should appear in your seminar. Next up is the PowerPoint. The presentation that you're making, if the content is not good, nobody's going to look at it. Let me be very honest. So your slides should be clean. It should not have too much of content. It should just have particular bullet points and very captivating, very attractive. You need to have a rapport building with your audience. You need to interact with them. You need to get them engaged and involved. So there are many softwares and many applications available online, like questionnaires, surveys and all. So you can begin your presentation with such a impactful thing, because that is very unique. We can never, mostly the seminars or webinars start with the introduction of the speaker and then all. But whenever you begin with a rhetorical question, you begin with a story, you belong with certain idioms, phrases, those make a different impact. They get the audience emotionally connect with your seminar, not just mentally and physically, but emotional and psychological content is also very important. Nervousness has no place. You need to be confident. You need to be very aware, and you need to have that within you, that empowerment within you, that you are gonna crack it. You are gonna present the next 1 hour or 2 hours or 3 hours very well. So these are the five things that you need to know about a successful seminar. Firstly, the content. As I mentioned, your content should be very clear. It should be appropriate, like verified. It should be genuine, nothing fake or nothing hypothetical. It should be proven. Level of connect with the audience. So whenever you're connecting with the audience, your audience should be indulged and it should have that acquaintance with your seminar. Gestures and postures, your body language. Your body language speaks a lot about you, your seminar, and the interest of the audience. Knowledge. So before actually presenting for a seminar, you need to do a detailed research. You need to know, get an idea. You need to do the analysis of the audience, of the content that you're delivering. And finally, in the Q&A session, so whenever there's a Q&A session at the end, you should be prepared for all possible questions that could pop up with the that are in connection with the seminar. You should be able to answer them. So you need to have certain handouts or flash notes ready with you so that you can answer those questions. How to start? So firstly, this is the main thing that everybody asks: how to start a seminar, how to start any presentation. You can either start it with a story, or a phrase or a quote, any idiom saying by a very famous personality who is in that particular field, or a rhetorical question. You can put the audience in a thinking, so that when they start thinking, they start finding an answer for the same, and during the presentation they look out for that answer. That is what makes a successful entrepreneur, a successful seminar public speaker. So you can either use some software. As I mentioned, there are so plenty amount of softwares you can use for questionnaire preparation, surveys, or any particular, like there is one software that I personally used in one of my seminars. Like it was based upon, like, you can type any word inside that, what currently what is your feeling with respect to that this particular topic. So they can type any particular word, or what are they looking up to during this seminar. So you come to know that what are the expectation of audience. So that is another point that is in adjunction with the particular question, particular way of starting with a rhetorical question. Or you can ask a verbal question as well. It works. Effective presentation based on the speakers. It is based upon certain parameters, like the speaker, the credibility, the motivation, the speaking style, whether he's too fast, he's too loud, or he's too arrogant. The speaker should be optimum. The ideal speaker is the one who can connect with the audience, who can go with the audience, and who is with the audience. Next, the message, the content, the structure, the style, the presentation technique is very important. You need to know your audience. What is the audience, like, what is it actually, what are the people that are attending, what is the age group, what is the gender, what is the education, what is it related to, career oriented, guidance oriented, or what is it. Next is a channel or communication. There are three levels of communication of channels: primary, secondary, tertiary. But when we categorize it on the basis of our content, it is verbal, non-verbal, and pictorial. Feedback. You need to know the feedback, and so at the end there is a feedback form or something like that. You need to know the response, so that the next time when you are delivering our seminar, you can rectify those responses. Avoid using phones or avoid any other particular activity during your seminar. Your focus should only be on the audience, on your presentation. That's it. All the other distractions should be kept aside. And also see to it that whenever you're going, you check once that your slides are moving, if it's not getting hanged up in between, or if it's not getting blurred, or something like that, because technical errors tend to appear. But see to it, because once the error appears, it might lose the link. There might be a gap, or there might be a break in between you and your audience. So to avoid that, see to it the projector, the light, everything is well around you in the room. So these are the 5 steps of, I would say, an ideal seminar. Research about the audience and the content. Organize your data and verify whether the data is appropriate. Like, is it taken from WHO or certain kind of regulatory, or is it verified? Is the data not hypothetical or not fake? Introduction. In your introduction, there should be appropriate objectives, rational aim, and you can use some statistical figures as well to attract audience, that these many million people have been affected. So these kind of wordings, these kind of dialect, these kind of language and tone, and voice modulation, that is very important. You should know which are the points on which there is more emphasis to be put upon, and which are the points which are to be given least importance. To continue the link, you need to keep the audience engaged, because during introduction and conclusion, that's fine, audience get attracted, but during the main content part, there might be a loss of contact and connect between audience and you. So rapport building, as I mentioned earlier, that is very, very essential. Lastly, you can conclude and summarize your content, so that the audience get a clear picture that what was actually done. Now the audience, what do you acronyms of audience? If we go to see the actual meaning, analysis, who are they, how much is the audience, how many people are there, understanding, the knowledge, the demographics, what age groups, what education, what gender, I, interest, Why are they here? Are they here for motivation? Are they here for gaining some knowledge or gaining some of the skills? I is interest. E is environment. Where will I stand? You should know that the surrounding environment and the people who are sitting, they should be very well, मतलब वो एक जो घंटा है, that 1 hour should be appropriately utilized. And needs, what are the expectations, what should be the outcomes of your particular seminar? See, customized, are there any particular specific points or needs that needs to be given more importance? And E is the expectations, what do they learn, what are they actually looking up to in your presentation? And these are the level of communication, as I mentioned earlier. Pictorial can be diagrams, flowcharts, graphs, figures, pictures. Verbal is your voice, the variation in the pitch, the modulation. Non-verbal is your facial expressions, your body movements, and your postures. So that's all for today's video. I hope you all did enjoy today's video and did get a lot of learnings. Do feel free to drop in your questions in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to answer them. Thank you so much, everybody.